care about things like honor. I only have objectives.
What's up, guys? This is Astranox. I just had this part in the video where I was in the editing process and I saw the music was synchronized with this scene, so I just had my fun with it, you know. So in this video, I'm doing a bunch of World Arena. Of course, a bit over a week left until the season ends, so I'm climbing on my first account, speed cleave, high speed on my heroes, doing a bunch of different team compositions, having fun with the whole thing. And yeah, I'll talk about different things in this video about like team compositions that I go with, like why I go with these heroes, how to deal with certain heroes and stuff like that. And I'm in Challenger now. I actually shuffled the battles, right? It just ended up being that this battle I wanted to show it because Commander Pavel, right? Commander Pavel getting activated so easily with Peyra. I mean, Peyra plus Ran is just insane. It's just completely insane because they have a ton of speed, and I'm able to just trigger Pavel, which is on a rage set, and I'm running Rosa Hargana artifact on him. It's crazy, but I mean, you know, he gets extra damage because of that. 30%, more attack is happening when he triggers the skill number 2, and there's also the duo attack. So, you know, it's been happening in my battles. He's just getting called into duo attacks, and that's quite interesting actually. So I feel pretty good about this artifact. Very easy to actually get to maxed out for players that might want to go with Drink on him. But I mean, there's other rangers that could put it to good use. So might as well have some fun with Rosa Hargana, because this is the bulk of the damage out of my ML Pavel, right? So as you can see, I'm using Pilates often because I don't want the enemy to have her, right? That's my reasoning behind it. I have a Tegil's book on her as well, so that's one less thing I have to worry about. I do face quite a few Selines because the enemy just likes to pick heroes that counter whatever I'm picking, right? The thing is, if they go with a Selene, well, I don't need to use the skill 2 of Ran, the non-attack skill. I don't need to use the skill 3 of Peyra, the non-attack skill. I can just avoid that, and I can still do pretty good for myself. So that's something. Or I could just bait Selene into like Summertime Mysteria. It's not always going to be the case, but when that happens, 50% chance of her missing. She could survive the hit because she's like 15,000 HP or something like that. So different ways to go about it. I like to bring my boy Sid. I need my speed imprint. I need a hero that can finish off someone. He's on Wind Rider, so he gets stealth. He gets more attack when he triggers that, and the stealth has been pretty handy. Like, he could be protected from being attacked from single target attacks. So that's pretty nice right there, as well as the damage increase from the Wind Rider when it activates, right? When you down someone, the skill 3, and then you pop someone, and then you follow up with the skill number 1 when Rider is activated. If you down someone with skill 1 as well, then you got one Rider again with stealth. Very powerful stuff. So I love to use Ran and Peyra. Since I got Peyra, life has been so much easier, to be honest. I didn't have her since she got released. I got her from the Izura Foundation, pickup. I mean, you were able, the selector, the 5-star RGB selector for non-limited heroes, and that was really big right there for me. I'm sure a lot of you guys got some of your favorite hero. Maybe you are a meta follower. Meta slave. I don't know, man. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys went for Huayang. It's just an OP hero. She's getting nerfed, so perfect, right? You guys will be able to just have the selector again, I believe. That's pretty much how it's gonna go down. Gonna get your resources back and all that. So yeah, the refund's gonna be good for players that built Huayang. Could always just build her now, and I don't know how they're going with the memory imprint. They don't want to give unknown slates because that's too good, and well, yeah. Anyways, I would definitely abuse that if that was the case, because I didn't have, let's say, a Huayang built on a certain account, but I have her. I'll just build her just to get that selector. So that's the strategy you can employ, right? So yeah, I'll you know, re-showcase her when she gets nerfed. We'll see how she performs. It's probably gonna be pretty sad. So yeah, Pavel has been great. Green Pavel, a great way to counter with like Arbiter Vildred. You know, big damage. The pre-attack buff before doing an AoE attack, you know, that cannot be countered is massive. I mean, you could use that to push a Challenger Domino. That's just beautiful. A ton of damage, ignore damage sharing with the skill number 3 single target attack. So you could, you know, focus on that really annoying hero like, let's say, a Ram. Hopping in Apocalypse Ravi is not as easy as it used to be. Players are going like super tanky on their Apoc Ravi, ridiculous. Proof of Valor, like 30,000 HP. Apocalypse Ravi, probably on penetration set, like completely ridiculous hero, very overpowered. And if you can't deal with her, it's like I said in my previous videos, you probably should be pre-banning Apocalypse Ravi. She is definitely quite an issue for a lot of players. I'm having issues sometimes dealing with her, but even if she does the revive, it's random. Like, you don't, like, they don't know, you don't know who's gonna get revived. So yes, they could be lucky, it could be the right hero, but quite a few times it's just like, I don't know, it could be an adventure Raz, it could be a hero that's not really helpful, and then you're good, right? You could just end up taking out Apocalypse Ravi, finishing off the one that she revived, and yeah, you would just win the battle, right? So I have a lot of heroes that I have built with a lot of speed. So it's not just like putting my best speed on, you know, Ran and having my best speed on Peyra. It's having a lot of speed on Assassin Sid as well, and that's a hero that is very powerful, especially when you don't want to trigger AoE attacks. You know, maybe they pick an Elena, maybe Ran and Peyra got banned already, so I still have that available for me. I have my Assassin Sid, I have my Pavel, my Green Pavel, which have a ton of speed. I have other heroes that have a lot of speed, but not as much as those heroes, because they might not have great base speed, or I just didn't stack like full speed on them because I needed some other stats, maybe more offense. And I knew that I would not really open with those heroes, but I can always make stuff happen if I'm going with a speed imprint or two. If I'm really desperate and maybe the enemy picked my heroes that have my best speed, pre-ban plus pick. Sometimes, you know, I'm facing players that knows, you know, what I'm gonna go with. Like, they've been watching videos, so yeah, it just happens, right? It happens. So it's okay. I figure ways to deal with that. And Summertime Hysteria has been really cool. Like, I went all in on her when she got released on this first account, and having her at triple S imprint, that's attack for the rest of the team, right? And as soon as she gets going, man, as soon as you get her activated, I have Politis. I don't have to worry about the enemy having Politis, which is pretty rough. If you're using Summertime Hysteria, facing a Politis could be deadly. Like, she's gonna cut your CR pushing in half. You know, C-Dum's gonna be having problems. She might not be able to follow up your AoE attack. Maybe Summertime Hysteria, you know, she can't. That was actually the part that I actually put at the start of the video, because it was just synced up, and I was like, I was editing the video, I was like, just rewatching it, right? Because I take out parts that are slow in World Arena, so you guys can enjoy the video better when you're watching this. And I was like, yo, this is synced up pretty nice, man. Like, I just took the soundtrack with the part in the battle, and I just, you know, copied them to the start of the video. So yeah, it's just having fun with that. I mean, not a big deal. Like, probably most of you guys don't even have the sound on or whatever. Yeah, I just enjoy that. So yeah, Summertime Hysteria, ton of attack on her. So, you know, baiting like a Celine is cool, but man, when you get her going, like, she's just like applying bombs, right? And the bomb, when it detonates, it's a stun, but it also deals a crap ton of damage. And if you're running like a Peyra with her, you're just gonna have a ton of attack with attack buff, and she's just gonna deal so much damage with those detonations. So that's strong. It's crowd control as well. The skill 3 deals some damage, applies attack break, could be handy, but most of the time, you know, since I have her own artifact, I'm just applying, bombs with the skill number 1, you got the Soulburn for free the first time, so that's really cool. And basically her passive triggers, you got hopefully bomb on 2 different heroes, didn't get resisted, sometimes it happens though. And then with skill 1, you just put it on another hero that's about to go, that's dangerous, something like that. Maybe it's like an Elena, like a hero that could like stop the combo, maybe it's a hero that can cleanse. So I do have a lot of effectiveness on Summertime Hysteria, so that works out pretty well. And then you're gonna have detonation on 3 different heroes. They're stunned, took a crap ton of damage, and you're able to just, clean up at that point because they're softened up if they didn't get slapped at that point. And they're stunned, so they lose their turn. So you got some breathing room. Works really well, really well. And I knew that this hero would be able to just do some crazy stuff later down the line. And when I did her showcase, we still didn't have... Hera was not even released. Ran was not even released, was it? Maybe Ran was released, but not Hera. Or maybe they were not. I don't even remember. Maybe that account didn't have Ran yet. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. But I just saw it coming. Like, that would have been so OP. As soon as they release a high base speed AoE hero that can remove immunity, it's gonna be GG. Like, good game. For sure. And now, we not only have Ran, we have Hera as well. That 2 ice heroes. Sadly, they're both ice, but still very strong stuff, man. Really liking performance of Summertime Hysteria when I bring her along. If the enemy, even if they have a Celine, they're trying to do something to mess you up, but I just managed to pull through. Yeah, if you're running like Hera, like high base speed heroes that attack everyone, like Challenger Domino just sounds too good at that point, right? Like just making your team go back to back with her CR pushing, it's an easy way for her to just follow up your AoE attack that will crit on most of their heroes. It's so easy. Like, you have her built like hard hitting. She doesn't need to be that fast. I have her on speed and penetration set. I changed her to penetration like a few months back, and that really helps to push the damage even further. You can even do some pretty solid damage without the soul burn with her. And if you want to see my stats for my heroes, right, it's not in this video. It's like, if you check any video on my first account, Speed Cleave playstyle, I usually have my stats of my heroes like at the end of the video. It's just like for RTA, I'm just like, I just want some battling going on and just talk about a bunch of different things. But yeah, how's your climbing going? How are you guys doing in World Arena? Going for that Apocalypse Ravi skin. It's a nice skin, man. I don't use Apocalypse Ravi on this account especially. I do have her built on my second one. I do use her there because she's an OP hero, and if I don't use her, then the enemy will use her, but I don't do RT on every account. It's just way too much of a grind, right? It's very time consuming. My favorite playstyle is this one, right? Bruiser is fine, but I think I would have to build my heroes just faster. Counter is good, it's fun, but it means your heroes are gonna be slower. It means that you gotta be lucky, they're raising heroes more and more, or buffing heroes that don't trigger counter attacks, and that's dangerous. That's problematic, man. When they have more options at their disposal, it is pretty rough. So yeah, now dealing with Angel of Light Angelica, Politis is just a great way to deal with her. Even going like Ran Pera, Ran, you can soul burn him, and that means the defense break will stick on them after Angel of Light Angelica goes. She will remove the restrict instead. That's the first debuff in line. And having like Ran plus Pera allows you to just trigger the skill nullifier and just deal with it. But if you have Politis, that's an easy way to get rid of the skill nullifier. Politis, if she's fast enough, she's going to be able to cut as well. So, you could cripple them with enable to buff debuff and decrease hit chance. That's also AoE damage happening. If you have 20 souls, you could soul burn skill 1 into the skill number 3. Maybe you need to get out of a silence or something like that. That can be pretty handy, pulling that off. I mean, Politis is just a great hero, man. Like, wearing Tagil's Ancient Book is already pretty huge. On top of, like, just cutting the Veteranus pushing in half is a huge deal, because there's a lot of that stuff going on, right? Sometimes it's a small amount, but it adds up real quick, like Apocalypse Ravi. Just getting some CR pushing constantly, it adds up, and then she eventually gets to go. She could cut in your rotation between your heroes, and you're gonna be in trouble. So you have to be careful about that. That's another, way to make Politis shine. But the way I have her built, right, is she has over 200 speed, and her effectiveness it's close to 100. But I still have a lot of like attack and crit damage on her, so she's able to pack a punch. She's able to land her debuffs, and I feel like that's just a solid build for her, right? Man, like, just notice how crazy well I managed to stun DN. I just stun them constantly. They can't do nothing. They're not able to get a damn turn, and that must be real frustrating fighting against that. But Pharah Soulburn S1, man, with the potential stun from Politis S1, or Summertime Bomb Detonation, it's just like stun log, can't do nothing, stun, and you're laughing them because you're much faster than them. And I mean, they thought they could catch a break there, but it's just not happening. Like, I just have too much speed, and the 100% stun with Pharah is ridiculous, right? Like, that's so much value in a game. Like, Pharah is just useful the whole time. Completely ridiculous. That hero's OP, and you can find her, of course, in arena defense, quite often. And Pharah is just great. Just great. Like, having a reliable attack buffer, such a big deal. On top of everything else that she does, man. Like, getting an extra turn is just such a big deal. But yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys think about all that in the comment section. That's it for this one. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.